Hey everybody, Boots here, and today I want to do a little another build kind of update video. Not as stupid and silly as the last one, obviously. I'm just gonna tell you a bit about what I've been using this season in PvP, and hopefully you guys would like it as well as I do. But it's not so much a bad build, so it's not in the bad build series, so it's its own thing. It's kind of like an update to my old Glass Warrior build. It's very similar to it, only different kind of gear setup. But yeah, it's very similar to it. So if you've already seen that, you'll have an understanding what's going on. So in PvP, usually what I do is I just solo queue the whole time. And solo queue, I don't know if you've ever done it before in ranked, it's a grab bag, right? So you have sometimes you have some good teammates, sometimes you have some really terrible teammates, and it always feels like you're doing your best, but it all depends on who you're with, and because of that, I kind of wanted a build that doesn't depend on other people too much for solo queuing. Like the meta guardian, you kind of need a good Scourge or a good Mesmer with you to support him in order to do that damage and stuff like that. So I kind of just wanted this time around to have something that supports itself and is able to kind of not carry a team, but almost carry a team by itself. And it does that, I feel, because at least where I am, I'm only in gold, but where I am, and I'm also only in gold because I had like the worst placements ever, and then I've been working myself up from that ever since. And I think I'm like at like 75% win streak or something, coming back from placements. So, and it's a grind, and I don't think I'm gonna get I don't think I'm gonna get up to legend or platinum that high this season because I'm not playing that often. But I feel like this build could probably do that kind of thing. So yeah, so it is a Guardian build. It's a Firebrand build, and here we go. So Firebrand, you got your the Archivist Whispers is something that I've been always flitting between here, and Archivist Whispers and Liberator's Vow. I like Liberator's Vow because since this is a more self-sufficient guy, and you kind of want to 1v1 some things sometimes, you might have to. You like that burst of quickness to get off your burst damage every once in a while, and it's nice. But Archivist Whispers for that additional pages on your tomes is really nice. I mean, this isn't so bad for team fights either because you give your friends quickness as well, like a 25% uptime of quickness. It's not so bad, not so bad. And then I go weighty terms. I use a lot of mantras. Got to get those mantra cooldowns reduced. It's good for this build. And finally, Lore Master because it's so strong. The recharge is reduced on all the mantras, and their passives are available when they're on cooldown. Firebrand's very straightforward, and then Honor's gonna be straightforward too. A lot of you are gonna, if you play Firebrand, you're gonna see, hey, look, this is something I've done before. Protective Reviver, really nice in team fights for reviving people. Very, very good. Pure of Heart works off of your Mantra of Solace. You give Aegis to everybody every once in a while, and that heals them. That heals yourself as well. So you have a lot of nice sustain for you with the Aegis, and also with your dodge rolls. You're healing a lot of people in your group for quite a bit of health, and quite often. And then finally, I do Rid of Persistence because with my gear, I don't have that low health, and I don't think I need Force of Will. Rid of Persistence increases the duration of all your symbols, and a lot of your symbols deal a lot of damage as well. So that it's a buff to your damage, it's a buff to your healing, it's a buff to the boons that go out. It's pretty good for this build. And then finally, the thing that brings the damage is Radiance Line. So with your elite skill, you have a good amount of retaliation, and also with this minor trait, or adept trait, you also have a little bit more retaliation. So you could, during a fight, you pretty much have 100% uptime of retaliation, and because of that, these two traits kick in, which is you stack might, you get 6 stacks of might out of it, and your critical chance is increased by 50%, plus another 10% when your foes are burning, and you have an additional 10% damage and 250 ferocity. So it's a huge damage boost just from this line. Basically, with the gear you have, with Mender's Amulet, which is where you're getting all the healing from, it's power, precision, vitality, and healing power. You have 30% crit chance, but with your retaliation and radiance line, it goes up to 90% crit chance. That's pretty good, and just a lot of damage. So, so the problem with this though is it's very slow, and because it's very slow, I wanted to take a rune that improved my movement speed. So right now I'm using Rune of the Lynx. The 6th bonus on that improves your movement speed by 25%. You do get some quickness with this build. You'll have quickness every once in a while, but you don't want to have to like go into your tomes to get quickness just to run around with it. So this is a much more reliable movement speed boost. If you weren't doing Menders, if you were doing like Harriers, you wouldn't need this movement speed boost because you would have like 100% quickness all the time from that. But that's not what I'm doing because Harriers, your health is at 11k, and it's just way too like rock paper scissors for me. I want to be able to help myself a lot. Like I don't want to be that skilled to be able to stay alive at 11k health. So Mender's Amulet really helps you to be a little more healthy, you know. So Rune of the Lynx, before also I was using Rune of the Traveler, which is also a movement speed boost and also very good. It's up to you which one you want to use, because this one, it doesn't increase your power like the Rune of the Lynx does, but it increases all your stats a little bit, and it gives you 15% extra boon duration, which is nice because you are giving a lot of boons to a lot of people. So I haven't quite decided which one I like better. I played Rune of the Traveler a lot more, and I liked it a lot, but Rune of the Lynx is also good. For my sigils, I've been basically just doing all the condition removal sigils because, you know, if you're 1v1 versus a Mesmer, or you're Condi Mesmer or Condi Thief, or 1v1 versus a Scourge, you're going to need all the Condi removal you can get. And although you're running Mantra Lore, it's not quite enough. Although you're running these tomes, it could be enough, but probably not quite enough. The sigil cleansing help, all the sigils help, and also I'm running Contemplation of Purity just for that extra boost in a team fight. So yeah, that's the gear, and I guess I could discuss a little bit more. This is gonna be a really fast little rundown. I use Merciful Intervention because I feel like as a person who is roaming more on this Firebrand than other Firebrands, it's really nice to like teleport 1200 range up to a point when you see a team fight swinging in the wrong direction. So like you see, I don't know, like let's say you go home to protect home when somebody's attacking it, and then when you're running back too far, you notice that one of your guys are down, it's going to swing one direction, but then you all of a sudden Merciful Intervention from 1200 range, revive them a little bit, heal people around you a little bit, and then you have your bubble that pops up, and you could probably get them up. Most of the time you'll get them up because it's just a big surprise when out of nowhere a Guardian appears and starts rezzing someone. So that I've like, even though there are some better utility skills out there, I've been having too much fun with Merciful Intervention. I've been just using it all the time. It's also good, like if you're in a 1v1, to use just for an extra boost of 3600 healing if you need it. And that's it. That's the build. For weapons, I use, because I'm doing Radiance, I use Greatsword, Scepter, Shield. I was at some point using Axe Shield because that also does a lot of damage, but Axe does more damage than the Scepter, and it's more reliable in some ways, but I was just having too much trouble always being in melee with the Axe and the Greatsword, and I needed the option to be away from my target every once in a while. So the Scepter works very well in that regard. It's also nice to be able to lock someone down every once in a while with Chains of Light. And the shield's good for the shield of absorption and also giving some extra healing and aegis and protection to people. The greatsword, the greatsword's kind of a questionable choice, but I like it. I don't know what to tell you. I like it. It gives you the extra retaliation, does a lot of damage. Some people might tell you to instead use like a staff maybe, and the staff would be really good for a more teamy, supporty kind of thing. But I don't know. I just kind of like the greatsword more. I don't know why. And that is it. I'll put the link in the description. I might have put like very few, but some highlight videos as we're doing this. I'm not going to record very much of it. I'm just kind of using it for fun. And if you have any suggestions to alter it, or if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. It's just kind of what I'm using. I like it a lot. It's good for solo queue. And that's about it. All right, talk to you later. Bye.